Nick Martiros says, "What's your personal approach to having a political conversation with someone?" I like questions like this. And if it turns into a heated argument, how do you deal with it? So my approach, honestly, is, well, it depends who you're talking to. But a great approach usually is to just hear what they have to say first. Ask them what is bothering them in their lives. What are they struggling with? Are they being paid enough? Is their boss treating them properly? Right there, you got two issues to work off of: unionization or labor rights, and higher pay. And having, say in worker boards, I mean, you can get into a whole conversation when it comes to workers and workers' rights and labor rights, just based off of if that person enjoys their job. Also, healthcare. Are they struggling with paying for healthcare? Or, what's their situation with that? Is it tied to their employer? Is healthcare a reason that they're sticking with their job? Maybe they want to move on, but they have a great health plan through their employer. Medicare for all would alleviate that. So really, it's starting with their issues. Listen to them, allow them to talk, and really try to make it a conversation about how their life is impacted, and get away from the team sport mentality of it. Get away from the typical talking points that they're used to hearing. And also another way is to, relate with people on the level of them hating the same people that you hate. So when it comes to conservatives hate Nancy Pelosi. I also hate Nancy Pelosi. So you can, right there, you have a jumping off point, and you can discuss why Nancy Pelosi is a problem and agree, yes, she has stood up for, the wealthy elite, and discuss the alternative. Discuss the fights that AOC has had with Nancy Pelosi. When it comes to even something like the endorsement that Pelosi had of Kennedy, after Pelosi said she would never endorse any challenge to a sitting Democratic lawmaker. So both listen to what their issue is, and also be able to relate to them on various levels, whether it's hatred of certain politicians, whether it's struggling with healthcare, struggling with wages, struggling with the cost of housing. So there are all different ways to begin conversations like that, but really listening is, I think, a major part of it that people often lose. And if it turns into a heated argument, how do you deal with it? You don't allow it to turn into a heated argument. And also go into a conversation like that understanding that you're likely not going to change that person's mind on the spot. So don't expect to change their mind on the spot. What your objective should be is to simply plant some seeds. Just relate with them on, Pelosi, I hate her too. She did this, this, and this. And walk away. And let them sit with that thought. Wow, that guy that backs Bernie Sanders, he also hates Nancy Pelosi. Understand, they are so, many conservatives are so isolated in the media that they consume that they really have no idea that people on the left are in direct, competition or are constantly battling with the Democratic Party itself and the media. Again, the media is another point you can bring up. Discuss the failure of MSNBC and why you think, they may think, oh, MSNBC, they're with Democrats, and you could be like, yeah, they are. They're with the status quo Democrats. They're with the corporate Democrats. Because they have the money coming in from advertisers. There's that connection to corporate America. You're able to tie it into real world policy and issues, where it also allows them to understand your perspective. So if your perspective is rooted not in a team sport, not in us versus them or Democrat or even left versus right, but your politics is rooted in humane policy, in helping people, then I think it becomes a lot more relatable, and people begin to understand really what left wing politics is about. And I struggled saying that there because I don't even like saying left, right, center. I don't think it really helps the argument, because our politics, it's not simply about left, right. Like, yes, that's a way to define it or a way to discuss it easily, but it really, that inherently makes it more about team sports again, or an us versus them approach, when that's not what it should be about. It should be about rooting policy in just what you think people deserve in terms of what they put into society. So there has to be a way we can get away from that team sport mentality that a lot of people are stuck into.